on the other hand, will be basically a post-fight show. Post-fight. It's the post-fight show. All right, so I'm back. I'm streaming again. Hopefully, you guys can see me on the video, and you guys can hear me okay. I'm still working out the kinks for this. I apologize. Towards the end, there was no sound. My hope is that that does not happen again. Hopefully, it shouldn't. This time, I think I've got it fixed. I'm still working through this new platform, but hopefully, I'm using what's called Restream. Hopefully, this is working the next time. This is not. So again, this is going to be the post-fight show. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm trying to see what you guys thought of that. What did you guys think of UFC 261? It was fun to watch, man. I came on, I jumped on late, but it was really fun to watch. If you want a good fight card, that's what it looks like. Great finishes and KOs, but at the same time, you see a good display of just full-on mixed martial arts. So you see great striking, grappling, and then you see awesome finishes. And all three, hey, I don't think I've ever seen that before. All three of the champions finish their fights, all by KO or TKO. And it's, woo, right? You have Valentina with the ground and pound, Thug Rose with the head kick, and Kamaru with the haymaker, that right hand. Yeah. And then all the fights, all five of the main fights, the main event fights, were finished. 2 due to injury stoppages, basically, and then the final 3 by TKO or KO. I don't think that's ever happened on a UFC card before. That might be a first. But it's fun to watch, man. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, man. I'm excited to see the interviews from all these guys, hear what these folks have to say. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy watching that fight card? Who do you guys want to see these people fight next? And I'll go down the line. So I'll go down who I think everybody, both winner and loser, should be fighting next. All right, so we'll start at the top of the card. Kamaru, a champion and still finishes Jorge Masvidal. Who does he fight next? That's a good question, right? So we have in the welterweight division, you have, let me run it down. Leon Edwards is fighting Nate Diaz next. Leon, has been supposed to fight for a title for a long, long time, because he's again on the second longest active win streak in the division. So he's now fighting Nate, which is for him, I think, going to be an amazing payday. But I don't think that raises his stock any more than any of his other fights. The Bilal fight, I thought he should have done a rematch, but I mean, he fights Nate, he beats Nate. He's the obvious next choice for fighting Kamaru Usman for the welterweight championship. And if that's the case, if Nate loses, Nate versus Jorge for another BMF title. Right now, Jorge has the kind of star power that Conor has, so he can do whatever he wants, and it's going to make a lot of money, right? He's gonna make $1 million every single fight. He's gonna draw a big crowd. That same fight was just sold out, and I want to say they said something crazy like an under a minute, right? Because fans were so excited to be back in the inside of the arena to be able to see the fights live. So I think for Kamaru, he either fights Leon Edwards. He doesn't fight Nate if Nate wins. He fights Leon Edwards, or he can fight Wonder Boy, who has been stuck at the top of that division since forever, and they have not fought yet, and that's one of the fights that does definitely need to happen. or he can fight Colby again. But I don't think Colby has anything for him. So those are his three options. Top one, if Leon beats Nate, Leon fights. 2, Wonder Boy, because he's still at the top of the division. 3 is, who did I say? Colby. And if he goes through all those guys, I don't see any reason for him to stick around in 170. He could move up. I don't know if he could make 155 and go down. He could move up, maybe go to 185 and see what type of damage he can do up there. But yeah, this performance just lets you know how much better he's continuing to get. This dude continues to win on a regular basis, just continues to keep winning, keep doing his thing, keep getting better. So that was awesome. For the co-main event, right? Thug Rose. Who does she fight next? She's beat Andrade. She got avenged her loss against Andrade, who just fought, obviously. She just beat Wei Li. It could be a rematch. I don't think it's going to be a rematch because she won so convincingly. I think what's going to happen is she will probably fight Tisha Torres. That's the only other person in that division that hasn't any real stain or threat of giving her a run for her money, because the division is so small in terms of the amount of people that they have in there that are at that higher level, and then just the people that they have there in general. So she could fight Tisha Torres. She could fight Joanna again, or again she could just fight do a rematch with John Whaley. But I think maybe Tisha Torres is the next best option for that one. John Whaley, who does she fight? She beat Andrade. She beat Joanna. She just lost to Rose, right? So rematch is one option. It's the option that I think is probably making the most sense. But I think maybe her getting a couple more wins and then going back and fighting Rose is probably a better option. And I would love to see Rose get a couple of title defenses under her, a couple more title defenses under her belt. Because I do think she's the best fighter in that division, and she showed it today. She fought and she destroyed someone who was considered to be so dominant, and it was her performance was so impressive. Now let's talk Valentina Shevchenko. The only person that she needs to fight is Amanda Nunes. There's nobody in that division, and the problem is, of course, when it comes to cutting promos, yes, they could talk about her potentially fighting, some other girl in that division or some up-and-comer, but it doesn't make any sense because the gap between her and all the rest of her division is it's so wide that it doesn't make any sense for her to fight anybody but the top fighter, right? And maybe you have girls that are fighting at 135, dropping down to try to test her, maybe because they're already losing to Amanda, or maybe other women from 115 coming up, but there's nobody in that division who has any smoke for that woman. She has ran through that division. It's pretty much finished there. Andrade, she's between a rock and a hard place because she's lost to the now new 115 champion. She lost to the previous 2 115 champions. Yeah, did she lose to Joanna? I think she did. She lost to Joanna too, didn't she? I can't remember. I don't want to say that and be wrong. But she's lost to Rose and she's lost to John Whaley. What does she do? Does she stay at 125 and figure it out there? But she's not. As you can see, that she's got nothing for Valentina Shevchenko. So I don't really know what's going to happen there. Now, let's move on to middleweight, my favorite division, the division I'm supposed to be fighting at, middleweight, and kind of like heavyweight. I'm a big guy. Uriah Hall, I know he would have liked an opportunity to really showcase, but it happens that way, and it's really eerie and serendipitous because Chris Weidman, in the second fight against Anderson Silva, the same exact thing happened. Anderson was throwing a leg kick, Chris checked it, snapped his leg, so he knocked him out in the first fight, and then knocked out Anderson Silva in the first fight, and then snapped his leg in the second fight. And now Chris, after putting on a big training camp, he's in South Carolina apparently now, and then to come in here and to lose this way, to have his leg snap like that, and it's hard to watch because you watch his legs snap and it looks like jelly. It's like really hard to watch. But for him, I'm just hoping for a speedy recovery. So Chris Weidman, obviously, he's going to be out for a significant amount of time until that leg recovers. For Uriah Hall, fighting some guys in the top 10 is probably going to be the best option for him. Guy, maybe he fights Darren Till if he's healthy, or he could fight Paulo Costa, or Hermanson or Cannonier. I mean, he's got a long list of options, right? Because with Izzy as a champion, just coming off a loss at light heavyweight, fighting Jan Blachowicz, he's got to solidify his spot as the middleweight champion and get some more title defenses under his belt. I think they have Vettori. I think they announced that Vettori is next. After Vettori, I think Bobby Knuckles gets his second shot at regaining his former title. From there, what would be a great fight for Uriah Hall? Fighting Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum's coming off a loss. 5-round fight with Robert Whittaker. I think Kelvin Gastelum or John Cannonier would be Jared Cannonier would be great for Uriah Hall. Obviously, Chris Weidman's just got to get healthy. Anthony Smith, he's got some work to do. The light heavyweight division it's an odd division because it's both deep and it's shallow. And the problem is like you have the top guys are fighting few and far between. So, for example, Jan just fought Izzy for the strap, right, to get his first defense under his belt. Anthony Smith has been fighting at the top of the light heavyweight for some time now. So what does he do now, right? Coming out with, obviously getting a win, even though it's the fashion that he got it in. Getting the win that he did, what does he do next, right? Does he get a chance to get a crack at Jan? And I don't even know. I'm not even totally sure if they fought before or not. But I guess this is figuring out where he fits into the top of the light heavyweight division is going to be really, really important. Truth. Yeah, well, when you're a guy who's ranked top 15, top 20 in that range, and you're looking for an opportunity to move up, and then something like this happens, you're kind of between a rock and a hard place. Maybe a rematch makes a lot of sense for them, but I think he's got to figure out, obviously how to not let something like that happen again, and then also what his next move is going to be. But yeah, that fight card was really, really fun to watch. I'm glad that the fans are back. I'm sure it made the energy in there electric. Fans are needed, but again, people got to make sure they're taking their protocols seriously, and that you are social distancing. I'm hoping that there is not going to be a large spike in Florida, and that doesn't mean that folks shouldn't be getting coronavirus tests just so that there won't be a spike, right? Because no one's going to go get tested, but it's going to be important for everyone to make sure that they're staying healthy and stay safe during the pandemic that is still occurring throughout the world. In China, we've pretty much figured it out, but otherwise, yeah. I'm actually excited to see the post-fight interviews and see what these guys have to say about everything that's happened today. I'm sure Chris Weidman's already very much in the hospital. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at that. And then I'll probably be editing my next video for day 4, which is what I did yesterday on my workout program that I've started back. And then later on, I'll probably get my workout in. I'll be doing video for day 5 as well. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah. Thank you guys again. Everybody who watched me do the fight companion. I think I'm going to start doing this more regularly. I think a fight companion, because a lot of people complain about hearing the commentators. I don't like listening to the commentators because they are super biased. I think I'll be doing this At the very least for all the major cards, but definitely maybe for every fight card that I'm able to catch. Obviously, the big thing for me is a lot of the time zones are a little off, which is why I was a little late for this one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Everybody who did watch, I figured out the audio now. I know what I'm doing. I'm not a retard. Uh, don't hate me if you didn't catch the end of what I was saying in my Fight Companion stream. But thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys later. This is S. Bell MMA. Peace.